welcome to AMA Puget Sound's live coffee talk series. Our guest today is Paula Beadle. Thank you so much for being here, Paula. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you. I really appreciate the invitation, Julie.
Absolutely. I'm so happy that you're here. And to start off, you have some good news.
Oh, we just announced the sponsorship marketing awards this morning. So it's an important time, right? That we take a step back and we really recognize people who are uh, evolving sponsorship marketing and leading the way and
Mhm.
celebrate and honor them. So I'm really excited. We just announced it this morning and we have already received a large number of nominations.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. And what is when is the deadline?
I believe July 1st. So people
Okay.
have lots of time to nominate someone in lifetime achievement or innovation and sponsorship marketing, or someone, a property and a brand that is making an impact in our communities. So really, I'm really excited about that. It's been a long time dream.
Excellent. This is so great. So we'll make sure to link that below in the description if you want to nominate somebody. So that is fantastic.
Thank you.
Awesome. Let's talk about sponsorship marketing.
I love
Okay, we've gone through a pandemic. We've got not just a pandemic as collectively, but just any kind of life history type thing we've gone through in the last 2 years. And as marketers, we know that has affected pretty much every aspect. How has that affected sponsorship marketing?
significantly,
Hmm.
as it has, so many industries.
Yeah.
It has undoubtedly been the most challenging time in my career for sponsorship marketing. But I really am, trying to stay focused on the good news, on the good
Yeah.
side of that. And certainly live events are coming back and people are showing up for them
Excellent.
in big ways. And,
Mhm.
the other thing that the pandemic um, has created for sponsorship marketers is an opportunity for us to deepen relationships with people. I've heard a
Mhm.
lot of people around the country talk about how this has really created an opportunity for them to get to know the people that they're working with a little bit better. And
Mhm.
I think we all really got more connected, right, to our colleagues
Mhm.
that we work with during this time, and we really wanted to know how they were doing
Yeah.
during this time and how we could be helpful. So I think that has definitely been a change in the industry. It has also caused people to just think more creatively. So the sponsorship marketing programs that we're seeing are bold and they're creative. And so I think that has also been a benefit. In addition to that, I think that companies
Mhm.
are really looking seriously at how they can expand their sponsorship marketing. And it's
Mhm.
because they want to connect with people in a meaningful way. And
Yes.
so what we're seeing happening is that brands, sponsors are doing fewer events, but they're spending more money. And they're also integrating into their sponsorship programs their social good initiatives. And that is a huge change that we're seeing in the industry. So it's an exciting time for sponsorship marketing. I think the future looks very
Mhm.
bright. And I think it's the smartest marketing strategy.
Absolutely. And think of that old phrase of you don't miss something until it's gone. But we missed each other. So bringing back that human connection, especially in sponsorship, is so important. It really is. It brings back the humanity.
Yeah, it certainly does. And if you're
Mhm.
in marketing for a brand and you want to make that kind of
Mhm.
connection to your audience, sponsorship marketing is a very smart
Mhm.
strategy because you're connecting with people in an authentic way in
Yes.
a place they are at, right?
Yeah.
And talking to them about what you stand for and what you're
Mhm.
all about. Sponsorship provides that kind of an opportunity.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, who's doing it well? What are some examples of some really good partnerships and sponsorship opportunities?
there are so many of them.
Mhm.
Right here at home, I would say, the Seattle Storm and their
Yeah.
work with Symetra.
Mhm.
I think, wow, talk about a company putting their money behind their values and their
Yeah.
mission and aligning with an organization that
Mhm.
has that same mission and values. I think that's a really great example of two organizations coming together who share the same mission and
Mhm.
values, and really keeping a close eye on that partnership.
Yeah.
Um, I think Washington State Fair and Columbia Bank has always been uh,
Mhm.
a favorite of mine, in large part because they do such a wonderful job at putting the visitor at the center and also the customers at the center of their partnership,
Mhm.
and always challenging each other. How can we make this experience better
Yeah.
for our customers and for our visitors? But I think, you know, Amazon and Climate
Mhm.
Pledge Arena
Yeah.
is one that we've been talking about for a long
Yeah.
time. A matter of fact, just yesterday, the Sports Business Journal named Climate Pledge Arena the #1 sports venue in the nation.
I
And
heard that.
yeah, did you hear about that?
I
So
did. I did.
what
That's pretty
what a
cool.
well-deserved honor. But I think,
Mhm.
it's a best-in-class partnership because of the way that Amazon and OU Group work together.
Mhm.
And talk about putting the fan and the attending the commitment to climate awareness.
Mhm.
The fact that a storm ticket and a Kraken ticket also serves for free transportation,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Amazing benefit.
It's
On the monorail.
right. I
Yeah,
love it.
the
I love it.
the monorail, by the way, I was just reading about this yesterday, is actually the Pepsi Zero Sugar Express. And that's part of their partnership with the Kraken. So you're riding for free on the monorail. It's
Mhm.
with Pepsi, who is then giving every rider a token that they can then use to support a local nonprofit
Mhm.
charitable organization.
I love
So
it.
I think, there's so many, the integration of technology throughout the Climate Pledge Arena,
Mhm.
where people can walk into areas and make purchases of things and walk out by showing their palm. It's amazing. The Green Living Wall, things like the WaFed Club.
Yep.
I mean, there's so many examples, right, at Climate Pledge Arena, but that, I would say that still is my favorite in the entire nation.
That's so great. I love that. I'm definitely the type of person that likes to solve two birds with one stone. I'm like, no, can we get a dozen? And it with all the social responsibility and the corporate responsibility that they're trying to bring in, especially shining a light on climate. It's
That's right.
great.
Well, I
Yeah.
know, one of our goals, and I would challenge the audience to think the same way. We don't work on any partnership without having a conversation about how that partnership is going to support that company's social good initiatives,
Yeah.
and that's just become a part of the sponsorship conversation.
Absolutely. And I'm very happy to see that starting to happen a lot more, and it's a lot more transparent. It's a lot more at the forefront rather than, oh yeah, we do that. It's leading with that. So, and you've touched on this before, but what type of person should get into sponsorship marketing? Who are the people that are working in the industry?
Oh, I love this question. People in sponsorship are certainly resilient, as proven over the last couple of years. Very creative. Um, I've also always been attracted just to their energy and drive.
Mhm.
And I really like those people who stand at the entrance to watch people walk in, or sit in the stands when the team takes the field, right?
Mhm.
And I think those are the kind of people who are attracted to the industry. There are certainly people interested in sponsorship and marketing, um, because of sports and entertainment, and it's all, very, very sexy. Uh,
Mhm.
but the fact is, it's really hard work, and it does demand a great deal of time and energy and commitment,
Mhm.
and it's not always fun. Uh,
Right.
and so I think that, if you're looking to be, with the band or on the field, you might want to think about a different career choice.
Yeah.
If you're
Right.
if you're a collaborator, if you love all kinds of different aspects of marketing, if you like the idea of bringing people together to talk about
Mhm.
social media and social good, if you want to talk about television advertising and broadcasting, but also on site activation, right? If you want to use all marketing platforms and channels in and be talking about all of them, sponsorship is the unifier.
Yeah.
And so I encourage everyone to get into sponsorship marketing. It is the future, and
Mhm.
it's a great place to start and end a career.
That's awesome. It sounds so fun. And I've only done, just teeny bits here and there for nonprofit, which it's slightly different, but it's along the same lines. But,
Mhm.
how can so I've only touched on it a little bit, but in my career, but how can you be successful in sponsorship marketing? What do you have any tips for us?
I sure do. I think that part of the key to success is preparation. It's
Mhm.
asking a lot of smart questions, questions you don't know the answer to. I think it's very much about listening.
Mhm.
And I'm someone who loves to talk, and I get really excited about the conversation. But I always have to remind myself that when I leave a meeting, there shouldn't be any question who did the majority of the talking. And that should always be, the sponsor. I
Mhm.
think the key to success also is that it's not about you. It's not about your needs or about even your perceptions or your thoughts, right?
Mhm.
The best marketers are always able to put the customer or the visitor or the
Mhm.
fan or even the sponsor at the center
Yes.
and see things through their eyes. And that also means trusting research. It means having good research,
Mhm.
and it means trusting that research and recognizing that you may not, as a marketer, you have good instincts, and over years,
Yeah.
you definitely get a sense for what you think may work, or and you're also willing to try new things and then
Mhm.
adjust and make changes based on
Mhm.
what those results are. So I think it definitely requires a high level of creativity, listening, high performance habits, and
Mhm.
an ability to network, but to also be a humble person who,
Yes.
who really enjoys bringing people together and watching
Mhm.
them rather than being at the center of the experience they're having, right?
Mhm.
I
Right, and what's that? Yeah, and I'm thinking people who've worked in retail and customer service, I think are really good candidates for if especially for those that wanna move into marketing. This is a great because it's really not that different. Honestly, it's very similar, just at a different level.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting that you should say that because some of my very I hadn't thought about that. And some of my very early jobs were in retail.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh, yeah, same here. I have got my own channel about it, where I go through, like, 10 years of retail experience and how that's actually made me a better marketer because we've heard the customers. We have that, access to customers that a marketer who's never done retail just salivates for. Like, we already know what the customer's gonna say before promotion even starts, like,
Mhm.
"Oh, yeah, that's not gonna go well." And I have to say this, I have to explain this to customers, it's not gonna go well. And you can definitely tell people who've been in marketing have not had to deal with customers face to face. And I urge everybody, at least some point in your life, work in customer service, especially if you're gonna go into marketing.
Yeah, I think that's really good advice. And,
Mhm.
I also think it's important that people have mentors and
Mhm.
have their own personal board of directors, right?
Yes.
I had
Circle of
mine.
influence.
Yeah, I had mine really early in my career. And, here was the mistake that I made is that I didn't tell them they were on my personal board of directors. I was just watching everything that they were doing. And then I was trying to emulate it. Right.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I think today I would say to someone, who's on your personal board of directors? And do they know that? And
Yes.
pick up the phone and call them and say, Paula, you're on my board of directors. And
Mhm.
that means I'm paying attention to what you're doing. It also means that I want to spend time with you. Can we
Yes.
talk every month? Can we have a conversation? I want your
Mhm.
guidance. I want your help. And reach out and ask people for that. And I was
Yes.
really hesitant to do that because I thought, oh, they're too busy. They don't want to spend that time with me. But it was really important for me early in my career to have people that were influential and that I looked up to. And I often think back, wow, what would have happened if I had personally really engaged them? So
Mhm.
have a personal board of directors. Be sure that you're in organizations like WISE, Women in Sports and Entertainment, particularly if you're interested in sponsorship.
Mhm.
You've got to come to Sponsorship Mastery. We do
Mhm.
webinars and research and white papers and an annual summit. And if you like sponsorship or you're interested in it, that's definitely a resource and a place to get information.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, I just want to go back to board of directors. Just one more quick thing. And I just want to say that I'm so happy that you brought it up. It was something I heard when I was in my sales career before I even got into marketing. I was in sales. I was an insurance agent for New York Life. I learned a lot of sales there, but I preferred the marketing material. It was just more fun. And something they kept hitting on was they called it circle of influence. And I had forgotten about that until you literally just brought that up. And I'm so glad that you brought that up because yeah, you can have mentors without having mentors. And I think that's something that we're going to start moving toward as a society is instead of just having one mentor because, it's usually short lived and you're only learning one piece from them is to build a board. Like and I think the way it was explained to me is if you were going to build your own business and you could hire anybody you would want in each of those roles, who would you hire? I thought that is brilliant. So I would love to come back to this at some point in the future and just solely talk about that. But I know I've got a few more questions I want to ask you about
Great.
sponsorship, specifically social good. We were starting to talk about this before we went live, and then we're like, no, no, let's save it. Let's save it. So now I'm just like, I want to hear about the social good in sponsorship.
This is a shift that's been happening in marketing for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Consumers today care about what companies stand for.
Mm-hmm.
They don't expect you to walk the fence. They don't want you to walk the fence. They want you to take a position and they want to know what's important to you. And this is particularly true with younger consumers.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't just about the product or the service anymore, right?
Right. Right.
It's about who you are and what you stand for.
Mm-hmm.
And sponsorship marketing is a way to really bring that to life. It is not, to your earlier point, Julie, it's not enough to say, oh, yeah, we care about our community. Oh, yeah, we
Mm-hmm.
care about impact that we're
Right.
making in our community. You actually have to show up and
Mm-hmm.
you've got to do it, right? You've got to demonstrate that commitment. And I think sponsorship marketing is a great way to do that. It's been really a thrill, I have to say, for me to see how sponsorship has evolved over the last
Mm-hmm.
25 years, right? And how it went from, oh, sponsorship, that's about putting your logo up on a banner at an event and, we're going
Mm-hmm.
to pay for that. And isn't that's nice, right? That's a nice thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But to see it go from there to then becoming a true marketing strategy, sitting side by side at the
Mm-hmm.
table with advertising, with direct mail, with social media, right?
Mm-hmm.
And really becoming an important part of a marketing strategy. And if it isn't within your company, you should be asking that question why, because it has continued to increase for many years and will in the future. But today, it's evolved to being part of a business decision.
Mm-hmm.
So it may be still led from marketing, but HR is sitting at the table. They're a part of the conversation. The foundation, the retail sales division, the online sales division. Now it's becoming more of a business decision,
Mhm.
and everyone from around the company is participating in that. So
Mhm.
I think, yeah, that's been a huge evolution.
Yes, I'm excited to see where it's going to go from here, especially with the new group of marketers, the new generation, and I want to start talking about them for a minute, for a couple minutes, and how we can help them. You know, you and I been around the block a couple times. We've got some advice, and so I kind of want to start sharing some of that, especially for the folks. You know, they've just recently graduated in the
Mhm.
last couple of years and not have had the opportunity to step into an office officially because everyone is still at home. So I want to talk more about, you know, performance habits and how we can guide guide those folks, like, you know, what are some traits, I mean not traits, but some habits for high performance, especially when you're new to marketing or you're just need a refresher.
Yeah. Well, I know I still have to remind myself, right?
Mhm.
And I actually do take the time every day to think about this. I reflect on the day before, and then I think
Mhm.
about, the day ahead and what is going to make me successful. And I'll share with you that one of the transitions I made in my career, and I'm still working on it, is seeing my value not in the long list of tasks that I complete, right?
Mhm.
Not
Mhm.
in terms of the time, when I clock in and sit in my office to the time that I leave. Because for many years, I was pretty determined that I'd be the last one out the door and I'd be the first one in, and that
Yep.
I would get more done than anybody else. That
Mhm.
was my mindset. That's
Yes.
why I went to work every day. And the shift that I eventually made, and I'm still working at it, by the way, is that my value is in the results of my work, and my value is in how I'm inspiring other people to be successful and
Yes.
how I'm collaborating with other people, and we're working in partnership so we all win, right? It isn't
Mhm.
about me and what I get done and how long I spend in the office. It's very much about my role as
Mhm.
a leader in those conversations. And
Mhm.
it's about me working on the most important things. It's not about
Mhm.
how much I get done. It's about the outcome of the work. And so when I talk about high performance habits, oh, by the way, this is reminding me of something. I just saw it today. So my very good friend, Michael Kithcart, asked
Mhm.
this great question, and I'm paraphrasing it. But the question was this: if a stranger looked at your calendar, what would they say are the most important things to you based on your calendar? And I just thought, what an insightful question that reveals so much,
Mhm.
right? So anyway, I wanted to share that with everyone. Think about that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that it does say a lot about where are you putting your time?
In your time. So my performance habits, I'm always thinking about this, by the way, and it does change based on where
Mhm.
I'm at. And that's one of the things I've learned in COVID, right? Is every day we're all
Mhm.
kind of in a different place. But this week, what I'm doing is I'm spending 30 minutes every morning reflecting on the day before and then addressing anything that I feel like I need to. I'm
Mhm.
then writing down what are the three things I'm going to get done today. So I'm
Mhm.
a believer in the power of three. What are
Ah,
the three big things I want to do this year, this quarter, this month, this week, this day? Right. And I think
yeah.
about what are those three things, and that becomes my focus for
Mhm.
the day. It ensures that you're working on the most important things. It ensures you're working on the big things. So
Mhm.
I think that's really important. I think just your own health and wellness, right?
Yes.
Exercise, meditation, drinking enough water. I mean, those are high performance habits that in the past I think we might have diminished how important that is to performing at
Mhm.
a highest level and showing up as your best self every day. That
Yeah,
has a lot to do with your own health and wellness and your
absolutely.
attitude and your mindset, right? And how you're thinking about things.
Yep.
Skills, talents important to your success, but how you think, your attitude, how you feel physically has a
Mhm.
tremendous amount to do with your success.
It does. It does. And I'm glad that you said drink water because I'm finding people are not drinking enough water.
Yeah.
Water brings clarity. Drink your water, take your vitamins.
It's, sometimes it's simple, right?
Yes. Yeah.
How to be successful, and it starts with some of those high performance habits, the things you do for yourself.
Yes, exactly. And my husband and I were actually talking about that this morning. And I think the example I used was went to a conference in Chicago recently, and on the plane you go through all the safety checks, and what do they say? Put your mask on before you help others. Like, well, yes, that seems so obvious, and that's the same thing in life. Like, you need to make sure that you're taking care of yourself before you can help others, because otherwise you're not going to be any help whatsoever. Then it's just like, oh, you're helping, but it's not helping.
Yeah, that's so good. That's a great analogy, and I think a lot of us have learned that over the last couple of years.
Hmm.
Let's slow down. Let's take care of the things that are important, and that's true as a marketer too. It's true in the work that I do.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I kind of want to go back to sponsorship just for a minute, because there were a couple questions I kind of forgot. And the first one I had was, where can where can people get resources? And this kind of goes along with, your career as well, but where do you find resources?
Yeah, it's thank you for asking this question. One, because it tees me up to talk about some of the things that we're doing, and I really appreciate that. But
Sure.
let me say something before I tell you that. Um, there are not a lot of places to go to learn about sponsorship marketing.
Hmm.
And so it was one of the reasons that I was really inspired 4 years ago to start Sponsorship Mastery, because I wanted to help people perform at the highest levels. I wanted to
Hmm.
advocate for the industry. I believe in sponsorship marketing. I'm very passionate about it. Some people would tell you I'm kind of a geek about sponsorship marketing. I could talk to you all day on this topic. Um, but I think that there's not a lot of resources and places to go
Hmm.
to learn how to become the best sponsorship marketer. And so we started the Sponsorship Mastery Summit, and
Hmm.
this will be our 4th year, and we're going to be in Seattle this year. So I'm really excited about being live and coming back together. But we have the industry leaders who are speaking. We
Hmm.
curate all the content, so we make sure that the audience has an immersive learning experience. And so we're really excited about that. And now we're doing the awards, as you and I talked about at the beginning
Yeah.
of the session. So I think the work that we're doing around sponsorship mastery is really leading the way in the
Hmm.
industry. And we have the very authentic purpose to help the industry grow and thrive, and the people in it. And
Yes.
that's I'm at that point in my career where that's really important to me. So,
Hmm.
yeah. So join us at sponsorshipmastery.com. You learn a lot about sponsorship there.
Yes, and we will make sure to have a link down there. And again, when is that?
The conference is September 28th, 29th, and 30th, and it's in Seattle. We're going to be at the beautiful Fairmont Hotel, 3 days, only 300 people. So really important to register early if you want to join us. We wanted to keep the conference smaller, so people really had that opportunity to connect with each other, learn from each other.
Mhm.
Having a lot of conversations and interaction is important to us. So the best way for us to do that and deliver on that promise to the audience was to keep it small. So
Mhm.
if
Yeah,
you want to join us and learn a lot about sponsorship marketing and hear from leaders in the industry, important to be there.
yeah, absolutely. And I'd imagine during that conference, you're going to be talking about what kind of things are coming in as in I can't talk this morning, which is probably not a good idea since this is a show. But what are your predictions? I'm sure you're going to be talking about that during the conference. So can you give us a sneak peek?
Yeah, we'll definitely be talking about emerging trends, and I know all of us after the last couple of years try to stay away from predicting anything in the future because there's so much we don't know. But what we've seen from some research, and again, Nielsen Amazing research they just released on marketing. Everyone should Google it. Make sure you read
Mhm.
it. But what it tells us, it gives a lot of insights into the future of marketing, and also we can apply that to sponsorship marketing as well.
Mhm.
Here's what we've seen over this last year. We've seen record-breaking partnerships.
Mhm.
Crypto.com buying the naming rights of Staples Center in LA.
Okay.
Just the new emerging categories coming into the space, record-breaking deals being done, the
Yeah.
integration of technology, right? And
Mhm.
AI and virtual reality into sponsorships. I got a sneak peek yesterday at something that um, Chipotle is doing with an NFL team. I got to go back and check it out. I've never seen anything like it. It was amazing.
Oh
Um,
my god.
just the use of technology in
Yeah.
sponsorship.
Yep.
Companies like Sports Digita leading the way, open sponsorship, connecting athletes and brands
Mhm.
and sports teams and events. They're doing amazing work.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many of them. Sponsor United, um, helping to provide us with insights about what's being done in the industry. These are all important companies. Nielsen and their research
Mhm.
work. So important companies to be following and paying close attention to them, because they're changing the future of
Mhm.
sponsorship. And we're going to talk a lot about that at the summit. We want to
Awesome.
bring people together and shape what the future of sponsorship looks like.
That's
But
awesome.
more measurement, more technology, more sponsorships, more record-breaking deals on the horizon, and a lot more new industries coming into sponsorship marketing. There's my quick
Mhm.
predictions.
Awesome. So, one more question for you. What would be if you were in charge and budget was no issue and every company that you approach would say yes just automatically, what would be your ideal partnership, your perfect partnership?
Oh, okay. Great question.
Threw you off on that one, sorry.
No, 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 not at all. I love this question. The most important, the best partnerships have this element: the event, the sports team, the nonprofit organization that you represent, and I'm thinking right now about Special Olympics and a healthcare company. Um, they share the same audience, the same brand, the same mission and values.
Mhm.
And that's where every partnership should begin, right?
Mhm.
So if you're representing a rights holder, someone who has a sponsorship that's available, the people you should be talking to are those that are in perfect alignment with your audience,
Mhm.
your values, and your brand, right?
Yeah.
And I think that when you start from that place, like the Seattle Storm and Symetra,
Mhm.
like Amazon and Climate Pledge Arena and Oakview Group, when you start in that place, you're coming together for mutual benefit. You want to
Yes.
help each other, and you're putting the visitor at the center, and you're
Mhm.
seeing everything through their eyes. I mean,
Mhm.
what I would have loved to have been at the table in any of those meetings when they start brainstorming.
Yes.
They're brainstorming and they're thinking about it, and they're like, but what about when they enter the arena? What are they going to see?
Yeah.
And right, what's the experience people are going to have? And when you look at it from that perspective, that's a perfect partnership. So for me, money, um, it's just not, it doesn't drive any decision
Mhm.
for me. It doesn't
Okay.
drive my actions. What
Mhm.
really inspires me, what motivates me, what drives me is when I think there's a perfect alignment and a perfect partnership, and I'm going to work with
Mhm.
somebody who wants to collaborate with me.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want to work with somebody who says, "Just send me over the proposal. I'll take a look. I'll let you know." I'm not interested.
Mhm.
That's not how I
Right.
want to work. If you are not interested enough to sit down and have a conversation with me where I can really understand what's important to you, where
Mhm.
we can learn from each other and brainstorm together, I'm not really interested
Yep.
in those kind of conversations anymore. And I think that's true of a lot of sponsorship marketers. They're more marketers than they are salespeople.
Yes,
You
yes.
know,
I'm always trying to connect things. And I don't know if I've ever shared this with anybody, but I just always think, did you ever see the movie Working Girl? Melanie Griffith, Harrison Ford,
I
Sigourney Weaver.
I
And there's that,
did.
yeah, the scene where she's literally like has the idea and she starts ripping out the ad, I think, for whatever company it was. And she's like, I've got this idea that connects. And that's what I picture Melanie Griffith every time I have one of those connection ideas. So I should probably let her know that.
That's great. Up here, I got to show you something. I'm going to pull this off my wall. This is what's on my wall today. I'm big into quotes. I don't know. Can you read that?
Um, Not from
Dream,
here.
dream so big you get uncomfortable telling small-minded people. Isn't that great?
That is wonderful.
Yeah,
That
that's
is wonderful.
a quote hanging on my wall right now, given to me by a friend.
That's a very good friend. So we're about to wrap up, but I just want to give you the platform just for a minute or two. Like, is there anything that we didn't cover or anything that you want to reiterate that you really feel the audience should know about sponsorship marketing or moving in your career by way of mentoring or building your board of directors?
Oh, okay. Thank you. Sponsorship marketing is the smartest marketing strategy. So challenge yourself, your team, your company to be thinking about sponsorship marketing and how you can do it better. If you are someone who is representing a property and you're a rights holder, take the time to educate yourself, challenge yourself, whether you're a seasoned pro or a newcomer. There is always so much to be learned about sponsorship marketing. Advocate for the industry and learn, and come to the Sponsorship Mastery Summit. That's a great place to be. And I would say that, you know, for all of us right now, celebrate the small wins.
Yes.
Right? Limit the number of meetings you have every day. Focus on the most important things. Take a deep breath, right? And just, yeah, take care of yourself. It is part of being a high performing person in whatever you do and in your life is taking care of yourself. So
Absolutely.
yeah, and other people, right?
Yes, absolutely. That's a great note to end on. So we'll end there. And thank you so much, Paula, for your time today. I really appreciate it. We'll have all of your links and description or bio in the description. Sponsorship Mastery. Look into it. I do want to put in MarketMix, our conference in August. We are going to be looking for sponsors. So I want to put that out there to our audience. So keep an eye out for that.
Great.
Thank you
Terrific. A pleasure speaking with you today. Thank you so much.
Yes, excellent. Thank you. And everyone, have a great day.